We're here today to show you how to replace a screen. Now this is a nylon screen, and we're going to replace it with the same. But I'm going to go through the process of removing this screen, putting in a new screen. There's no such thing as a cat helper, so Rex will be moving along his way, but this is how you do the process. First thing you need to do is remove the old splining. Now you may be able to reuse it, but in this case we're not going to. We bought some new stuff here, and this one happens to be 0.160 inches, but you have to make sure you've got it right depending on your screen. We're just using a sharp pointy object here. Happens to be a knife. You just start where the end is. There'll be an end somewhere. This stuff is so bad it's actually kind of rotted, it looks like. So it may be quite a process to pick this all out, but hopefully it'll come out in one big piece and you can even reuse it. But in this case we're totally going to have to replace it. The screen we're working with today has a couple holes in it thanks to our cats. This screen is also original to the trailer, which was built in about 1970 or so. So it's really kind of grown in, if you will, and gotten hard. If you have active cats or dogs, you may have to replace your screens annually, but for our situation here, we just got some gaping holes in this one, so we need to replace it. Another easy way to help get the spline out is just to pull the screen, and you can see how it kind of loops around. So pulling on the screen will also help get rid of the spline.
The spline is totally rotten.
Once the screen is out, we're going to take this time to pretty much clean up the gap. It's also going to allow you to inspect to make sure you didn't leave any chunks in there. Because this is so old, it's very sort of attached. So we're going to clean out the channel, make sure everything's good before we line up our new screen so we can do some cutting. Now it's time to put down some screen. We purchased this screen at a local hardware store, and you can purchase it two ways, either a kit or by the foot. We purchased this by the foot. We actually bought 12 feet of it since we're doing most of the screens here. And it happens to be 36 inches wide, which works with our window very well. You can see that we're just about right there and just about right there. So what we'll do is we'll trim it to length, and then we'll probably install it and then trim it around the window frame, since it's this stuff is really easy to cut. Now we're putting in the screen, and for that we need actually a spline tool, and that's what this is here. And what it does, it has two ends on it. It's got one end that's used to push the screen into the channel, and once you press the screen into the channel, you use this other end to push the spline into the channel, so we actually secure our screen in. Now we're going to start off with one side, and then we'll start pulling our screen taut to make sure we don't have any wrinkles. When you're working the corners, you kind of have to do this a little bit by hand. It's not as automated as just rolling down the wheel. Kind of sort of fit it before you can continue down the next side. Now that you have two corners done, you just want to make sure you're not going to get any bubbling on the screen here, so you might have to pull a little bit of it taut to make sure that you do have a nice flat screen when you're done. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're making sure that it'll be nice and taut without any fluffy bubbles, if you will, in the screen material. And we're going to continue on with that corner and do side 3. And now that we're done on the fourth corner, we'll take some scissors, snip off the end, tuck it back in, and our screen, for the functional part of it anyway, is now complete. But of course we have this extra screen hanging off the edge here. So we're going to come back in here with the utility knife and just very gently cut it along the edge here to get rid of this extra. There'll be a little bit of a lip there, but ultimately the screen will look brand new. So we have this little bit of excess here. I've got a nice sharp utility knife. Gonna have to clean the corner on your own, but the sides are real easy. I just do a little bit on the inside and run my knife right down. The nice thing about fiberglass screens, they're very easy to cut, especially with a sharp knife. And you just slowly take your time, go down the edge, cut your way out, and remove the extra screen, and it looks like it's a nice flush edge. There's one or two that didn't cut. Just come back and nick those. And there you have it. Here we have an old screen. It's actually a lighter color, probably due to sun fade. And it's got that old filling. It's got lots of cat scratches in it. And then we have our nice new black one here with our new insert. It's nice and shiny. Takes, geez, about 5 minutes. And once you get going, it's easier just to do them all at once versus just, say, doing one a day or such. They can go really fast. So just make sure you got plenty of supplies to do it. And that's how you change a screen out in an aluminum frame.